And welcome back to Oakley Hour, and today we will be doing the hanging garden, and it just gives the final measurement. 14 plus, do it yourself, has lights, create your own personal dream garden. So I can imagine we're going to be making, guess what, a lot of flowers. I can't imagine not. So your personal dream garden, it says on the back here. It's got a few diagrams of what it's going to look like, so it's going to be cute. Maybe I'll use some resin if it's got a pond, see what we can do with that. I try and mostly keep to what they provide, but sometimes it's nice to add a little touch. We'll see how I feel when I get there, and what it looks like when I'm starting to get it together. Alright, let's see if I can get this open. I hope you're doing well. I always enjoy new builds and getting them started and seeing them progress through. And of course, the end result is always wonderful. Okay, plastic. Going to look like plastic here. Right, let's see. How do we open? Yeah. Stuck down as well. Okay. Not sure who it's made for. Main materials: wood, paper and metal. Oh, good grief. Metal, gonna cut myself. You know it, don't you? Alright. Got a full box here. Let's get everything out. Okay, there's a bag. I'm not sure what's in there. From what I can see, maybe a strip. Otherwise, we've got an empty bag. Got instructions, got very bent papers, don't like that. Okay, right. I guess we'll go through the papers first as they're all bent up. So this is our sheets of paper. Okay, quite nice that it's just an A3. Even if it is bent up, and these are A4, maybe a bit bigger than A4. Okay, it's got a bend straight along the design there. Got butterflies in here, so pretty sure we're going to be kept busy. Guessing this is where the pond is going to go. Maybe here. One of them. It might be a very small pond. We'll see. Okay, alright. As you can see, lots of plants, but that's not really surprising when it's a garden. Okay, start getting those flattened out if I can. Alright, instructions, we'll come back to that. Not sure who makes this. Exploring Wisdom, possibly on the back of the instructions, maybe. That's the company name. Got a bag here. Not sure what's in it, if anything. I mean, is this black thing anything? Or is that just the inside of the bag? Huh? I don't know. No, that's just the inside. So we have an empty plastic bag. Bizarre. Okay, have numbered according to the bags. I'm not sure what this is. We will look when we go to the instructions. We'll have a look. So, a bag of plants. Not a surprise for a garden. Lots of. These aren't too bad to do, actually. It's the ones with all the paper and stuff. And they got some really pretty colours in here. This will be quite a delight and no doubt quite a task. We have some plastic pieces in here. That will be for the roof. Okay, I want to make sure that keeps very straight. Wooden pieces in another bag. We have some paper elements. Cotton. And wires fine. These are for flowers. Got different colour grass there. Didn't we already have some grass? We did. We have some here too. We've got another lot here, different colours, more string, got some lace in there, cotton. It's a bit worrying, don't like the idea of that. And then we have a bag of other goodies. Let's see, just open the scissors, shouldn't we? Sorry, making all this noise. This does have the electrics in, so it is an important bag at least. Okay, we have some tubing, so we're going to be expected to do heating and is going to be connecting wires. Alrighty guys, that's fine. Lots of beads and things in here, bits and pieces. That's kind of cool. Okay, picture frame. More beads, plant pots. Lots of plant pots. Alright. Some smaller beads, including, very cute, aren't they? These little ones. Nice colour as well. Alright. And then we have our wooden pieces. See if I can get it open without. It's also unusual. I think it's going to be my first round one, I think. Just trying to think of all of them. Other than, oh, I guess that if you, unless you class the tilter whirl ride from Rotor, that's kind of round, sort of. Alright, so we have some blue pieces, some pink, some yellow. This is going to be the size of the pond, so I don't know if I'm going to bother with resin, it's so small. Okay, I think these are other pieces. Oh, this is another piece on the inside, okay. Then probably our base again with a pond. So this is going to be the top layer, so the pond's on the top layer. And then you've got the bottom layer. So, brown piece. Okay. White one, this one's quite a bit thinner wood compared. Another brown piece. Quite a lot of wooden parts actually. Looks like some windows. Looks like they're going to be cut out, but we will see. Yeah, they're definitely cutting out. They've got different number parts. Okay, so those are our walls. That's really thick. That's like placemat thickness. Oh, this one's really thick as well. Okay, and I guess this is the main base. So you've got the main base, then you have a second floor which is underneath the dome. Okay, so wooden pieces. Let's have a look at those instructions and see what we have going down. Then we go and make a start. I want to see if this bag is meant to contain anything. Alright, so we are starting off with A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Alrighty then. Okay, and it starts with, oh I see, it does have numbers by it. Okay, and there are a lot of parts. I, J, K, L, H and I. Oh, there's a little guitar. Okay, cool. Got the pond design there, I think. And how are the instructions working by item? So it gives you what the item's going to look like, what you need to build it, and what pieces you're going to need, what to do. Kind of gives you direction, so hopefully they are not terrible. So it's going to be by item, I think, guys, unless they finish in one page. That one's finished, that one's finished. If they finish in one page, we might be able to go by page numbers. It's looking good to be able to go by page numbers actually. Everyone is starting with the new design so far. Alrighty, perfect. So if we're able to do that, then page wise we have 38 pages, and this is what it will look like. So like I say, you're going to have the pond up here, and you got, it is lit up, and this is obviously not lit up and things, but you still got your pond. Which is one of the exciting things I'm looking forward to doing, to be honest. So there we have it. All right, let me go pull some pieces and we will start on page 1. There you go. All right, never found out what this was. Don't know. All right, okay, I'll be back in a little bit. All right, so it starts from baking the small pieces, and I think I am going to just go in order. So I need to cut out some paper pieces. It was weird with the paper because it had them, all of them in there, but it skipped one of the numbers and then it got you to do another one. Very strange. Like it skipped 18, you see, then I got 19. Peculiar. Have some paper elements in this. We have a rack to make, so let me get my boards and everything. Get all these cut out, so I'm sure you know how to cut things out and you don't need me showing you. So let me get those done. I've pulled 3 stages for today, so let's see how far we can get. And these are very white, aren't they, on the camera? Okay, let's stick these up here. We'll start making the frame actually before I cut all this out. So I'll get a piece of paper so that we don't make a pickle with it. And I have been using a small piece on the side here with a stick in order to spread the glue. Helps if I have all the pieces. So I went around all the edges with a very similar blue. Probably could do with an extra coat. It's had a couple, but I think we're okay. I think I'm good with what it is. This is wood, so I will be using wood glue, and it will take a moment to set, which is why I kind of want to do this one first, then go and do all that cutting. And you can buy these wood glue applicators. I used Loctite wood glue clear, so that it dries. Guess what? Clear. You are correct. You lot smart. You are. Okay, so do this. I've really been looking forward to doing this model actually. I've had it a moment or two, so I'm hoping there isn't any problem. There are some lines at the back. Do we really think that's how it's meant to go? I do not. I think this little fella has to be on the top. And it shows me that in the picture, so that's me being silly here. So I'm just going to reorganise this to go like so. Like so. Gosh, almost did it again. So me. Okay, and then we put, of course it's going to stick to the paper now because it's very confused at what I'm trying to do. Then we are going to put the shelves on like I was trying to do. And there are some lines here so we can get a really good idea. But if I'm quick enough, I'll be able to put the other side on and make sure that it is all lined up. Okay. Okay. Get my directions right at least. Make sure that this is flat on the bottom. Don't want a topsy-turvy display stand. It doesn't give the name of these, they don't have names. One of the models I did have some really cute names for some of the areas, but we will go with it. It's okay. They don't have to have names. Okay. And like I say, if we're quick, we'll be able to, that's what just do on here. Interesting, that one goes on the, they both go on the inside. Doesn't look like it'd be big enough, does it? Oh gosh. My brain's not with me today. Left it in bed, even though it's afternoon. Okay, and this one will go on here. And let's get this all sorted out. So this one needs to be pushed over a bit, that's where the problem is. And of course, you know, you can do tweezers if you want. But don't mind getting them a bit messy, particularly with wood glue because it dries so quick. Dries clear and easy to take off. Okay, just making sure it's all lined up, and then we're going to leave it to settle. Okay, and that will be that. It doesn't, looks like there's quite a space on that bottom one. It doesn't look straight, maybe because this needs to come down a tad. Oops, that was not a tad. I think it's the other one that needs to come down actually. And this is the beauty of wood glue. It does have some manoeuvrability for a little bit anyway. And if you go wrong, it's easy enough to put together, and that's what we have. So I'm going to now go and get all those bits cut out, and we can start making a move on the rest of it. We'll be needing the wood glue for the rest of this. So. Okay, but we are going to be making some boxes and some scrolls. So some of the scrolls will be used in this step and some will not. So let's get going with that. I will get that done and I'll be back. Oh, in this, is it for this one? It's not for this one. Alright, you can go away. Alright, so let me get going on this. Alright, before I do it, clarification, I had the wrong pieces with the wrong thing in the pot with the other pieces, so I have kind of got them muddled up. We'll be making books, so I'll get these cut out, more books and a newspaper article and a clock today, so let me get them cut out. Alright, just before I cut them out, I'm going to score them, and I'll score this at the same time because they are all in a very nice straight line, and this does make it a lot easier for them to bend to go round. We're putting them onto wood, so I'm just making sure we're all lined up, and I'm just going to score directly down here. So you don't want to go all the way through, you just basically want to give it a line, and I find normally a 2-pass works best. And then the other side of the book, so we're making the spine of it. Sorry, can't see it very well, can you? But I'm sure you get the principle. Like I say, I do a 2-pass, just be careful that it doesn't do what I just did there. And then I'll get those cut out, and I will score this one too, again because it makes it a lot easier for bending. Give it a 2-pass. This one's very straightforward. It's not really a box, it's actually just going to go on the shelf as like a book display, really. Pretty pretty though. Shame you're not going to see it, because look how pretty these sides are. Do you see it? Maybe you see it a little bit through the sides, because it is kind of like a rail, isn't it? And last one, and I will get those others cut out. Oops. There we go. Alright, I'll be back. Alright guys, and those are all done. So let's get this underway. So the first thing they want you to do is fold this in half and glue it. Okay, and then take a corner of it. That wasn't very good in half, was it? Try and do that a bit better. I mean, I know in the overall principle it's not such a big deal, and then they do it on the side with the picture and they have it fold in forwards like so. So I guess it'll cover up the picture. Okay, like this, and they want that glued together, although it's quite, seems to be quite okay really. Okay, and a little bit on the inside here. Okay, and I'm just using tacky for this. I could use B7000, but I just don't fancy it. And then we are going to make this, so because we have scored it, we should be able to just bend these in like so, like this, like that, and then just drop some glue on the end. So I'm just going to put some on the edge of the paper here, which I know you can't see. And use my stick to give it a little bit of glue on the sides. And what I'll do with the books, because there's a lot of them, and you probably really don't want to see them all, is I'll just do one or two. Let's see how it goes, see if it works well. And then just fold these in, and again, because it's been scored, it's quite easy. So drop it, and then get your tweezers, and just hold it on the sides for a second. Doesn't even take long. Just want to make sure that they're on. Sorry, I'm not even sure you saw any of that. I hope that's not the way this video is going to go, that I keep doing things out of shot. You may have. I mean, I'll go back and see, and it'll be like, oh, you were fine. Or I'll go back and be like, there you went again. It was a real problem I had right at the beginning of the video, and I try very hard to be in shot these days, but that's what we have with that. Then we're going to do the books. So that looks right. Okay, bookwise, and we have a flower to do, so we'll do the flower as well, and a clock, and then we'll do the books as I drop it. Okay, let's go find that. Oh, in the dog bed it went, a little munchkin. So you want 3 of these ends. Mine were actually stuck together, just so you know. So you want 3 of the ends. The thing is that you are better off really cutting them. It doesn't tell you how long they're to be, but what I used to do was I used to cut them, thread them all through, and then cut them after it had set, but quite often that ended up being that the pot didn't sit straight. So quick measure, and it should be good with this, and then I will glue it from the bottom and thread these in, all 3 of them. Oh, they're still a bit long. I'll give it a little trim. A bit more of a trim. I mean, we want them in, but we don't want them really going through the bottom. So it looks something like that. And then what I'm going to do is pop a bit of glue on the bottom and put it to one side to dry. A bit of paper on the side here. So that looks alright. And we have 1 over, because they always come with 2, so they're like a string, and they have 2 on. I can't remember if I'm using that at all for the rest of the day. Okay, books. Oh, clock. Then books. So you could put your clock face on this piece of wood and then cut around it rather than doing it the other way with a blade. That would also work. It's how I used to do a lot of my things. It's certainly how I do a lot of my, the bigger, like the actual building. I would quite often do it that way if I can, just because I know it quite often will look neater than that. Although it isn't terrible, but it's not perfect. Even if I do it the other way, there's no saying it's going to be perfect. One side, upside down. Right, pictures. Books. So because we have scored them, we should be able to put a little bit of glue on here, a little bit of glue on the spine of the book. We need more glue, and a little bit of glue on here. You could, and I probably will do it for the rest, just do it on one side, wait for it to dry, and then fold it over. But we are okay. And then we have our very first book. So most of these, what I will do is I will just line it up with the spine and just do it one side, and then come back after a few minutes, not long, and do it on the rest. So it goes something like so. Leave that to dry and then come back and do the spine and the other bit. Alright, so I'm going to get on and do the rest of these, won't take long. Alrighty, probably some of the easiest books I've ever made, really. Alright, so now all we need to do is put this all together. So let's start at the bottom. So we need 5 of the books. We need, let's see, might as well get them ready. Gonna need this one, goes in first, followed by the white coloured one and the pretty one here with the roses. Not roses, are they? Look, poppies actually. And lastly, the greeny coloured one. Is that this one? That's this one. And that's the top. Okay, so we're going to need just the 4 books for the bottom shelf. Oh, got my lid stuck. There we go. Gave my puppy some peanut butter today, and she rather enjoys this. It's all I'm coming with. I'll see if I can knock a video together for it. Okay, these only just fit in here, by the way, so you aren't going to need them at quite that angle. What about the white one? This one. And the other one's just going to fit in. Just try and squeeze them together a little bit more to make room. And I've not got enough glue in there. I didn't put enough glue into the corner. Have it on the other one. Let's put glue on this one now. I'm here. Okay. And lastly, can I fit it in? They feel a little bit too big for the display that they're going in. Either that or the shelf above was meant to be a little bit higher. Okay, that was a bit of a squeeze, but we did get it in there. Right, let's put the lid on my glue a second. So I'll put it on its side. Then we have this one, going to go in on the second shelf, and it's the red book to this side. And I want it flat at the bottom there. So you kind of do see it through the side there. I didn't think you would, but you do. And then next we have the top shelf. This hasn't particularly gone well together. Okay. We're going to put a newspaper followed by a clock. So let's get the newspaper on first. I did refold this. I looked at the picture again. It was a lot more folded than I had it. But then they also don't glue down that second fold, but their clock isn't flat on the shelf either, and I prefer mine to be a bit on flat. Okay, and put a clock. I could have cut it in a bit more, but I didn't. That's going to go here. And this is kind of a bit up in the air on the photo. And then these are enough still to manoeuvre, so you can reposition as you wish. And that's just going to go next to it, and that is this display done. How cute is that, and how easy was that? Right, let's put those books to one side, don't need those. Right, next, turn the page. So we are now on page 9, so that was page 8. So each page has at least one thing you're going to make. So this is where we get the scrolls. I'm going to pop this over there for drying. We are also going to be making a box. We are also going to be playing with some green paper here and quite a few little flowers, which we'll deal with in a bit. We need that with that and another scroll. So let's do what we did before, because it worked quite well. We put this little unit on. Again, I did go around the edges with yellow, so wood glue, wood glue. What was I like right there? And then I put this to one side while I go and cut them out. Not sure if there's a right way and a wrong way on this shelving unit. They both look literally like an A-frame. So, but there is a difference in the height or width, depth of the shelf. So you want the widest one at the bottom, followed by this one being the medium. And I did colour one side of these shelves as well, or the top part, which only needs one coat. It should have done the bottom, but I didn't. And then this one here. Always one, always. I just try and make it as even as possible. And they have it that it's all even on one side. So I'm guessing you need to push them out like that a bit. Kind of doesn't show it looking like that. Looks like they all fit perfectly. You know what? I bet it's this way. I am a plonker. I worry about myself. That'd be what it is. Because theirs looked all perfect. This one was right. Now I'm taking it off. Okay, just even that up, and this one too. Okay, and as we saw in that bookshelf, the depth of these does matter, although I had it on the line, so it should have been okay, but it wasn't. And then just put the other side on. Probably doesn't need this amount of wood glue, but it is going to sit for a minute, and then I will get the other bits and pieces ready. Just put that on there. Like I say, I think it is literally as symmetrical. I don't think there's much of a difference between it. I'm going to leave this like so while I cut out the other bits and pieces. And we have scrolls to make, so get a tacky, so we'll be needing that. But we'll be needing the wood glue, and we have a box, so let me get those cut out. Okay, and these are all cut out. What pretty designs they are. So first of all, I am going to score this like I did the books and stuff, so exactly the same way. They all have like dotted lines on them, so they make it quite easy to see where they're meant to go. And this one particularly has a very nice colour. You can see that tore it. Well, it didn't tear it, it just scuffed it. Little one for the tag. Twice. One down here. Not to just do them once, obviously. One down here. One down here. And that's it. Okay, so let's make our box first. So very straightforward. Fold your edges like we did before. Oh, I'll tell you what we need to do on this one is cut down here. I haven't done that, because that's going to be like flaps that pop inside the box. So this one's like the lid, or the bottom, and the other one is going to be what holds it all together. So let's put that one there, like so. So let's get some more tacky, because that other's dried up by now. Ugh. I'll sort that lid out. It needs just cleaning off really. And I actually think that these scrolls, it's quite a shame we're making them into scrolls, because they are really very pretty. So your best bet is just to get your little tabs here. You don't need really much more than that. And you probably don't even need much glue. For this one, we are going to need, keep missing, a little bit on this top one as well. Okay, so in the photo it doesn't look like a square box, but it's definitely looking pretty square to me. Okay, and then what we're going to do with these top flaps is just fold them inside. So I'm going to give that a minute to it's already taken, never mind. And so you want to put some glue all the way around on this. And that'll secure this side together as well, where it went in. And you just fold them down on those fold lines. Sorry, puppy's making noise, it's that peanut butter. She wants more, that's what it is. She does get proper doggy peanut butter, not just any peanut butter. But nevertheless, I still very much limit her as to how much she can have. She's not happy. You'd think she'd be delighted, wouldn't you? And it's because I restricted her and she doesn't like this idea. And then just press it down all the way around. And you'll be fine. You will be done with this little box until we put stuff in it, which will be now. So we are going to put some of this green in. Don't like this green overly, but just a fair bit in the bottom, but not too much. And then remember the yellow pot we did in the last step, we are going to be doing a bit of that too, using those. So we need a pink and a yellow one. That's it, just one of each. Yep. So it's mostly this green stuff. Just pop that in there. This probably is going to come out because it's not like glues all the way down or anything. Okay. Then you're going to want a pink and a yellow, one of these. And this basket is done. So these can dip in this glue here. And these are a lot shorter than that though. Dip, dip. And they just have one on one side and one on the other. So you do have, well, you have a handle both sides, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to pop them in and cover them up a bit with the green. That worked well. Sarcasm. Okay, because it's tacky, I'm going to bump a bit more on top. Put a little bit more green on there to cover up the roots as such, and that will dry quite quick. I'll just put a bit more of this in. Normally they provide loads of it anyway. Cover up the stems. Might have been better to have put the plants in first and then put the green stuff in afterwards. Anyway, something like so. It is going to go now right here at the bottom. Okay, that can go for drying. Next, let me get another one of these sticks. We want to roll these very pretty pictures into scrolls, and you want to roll all of them. And it's a lot. I feel very saddened by this, because I think they're really pretty pictures. So just use something. You could use a screwdriver, then just get, I think I've got just enough probably to do the one, of glue, and just hold it together. Probably need a bit smaller than that. Come undone a bit. There we go. And then just pull it off. And you have it. Good to see I'm moving the camera away. Okay, and do that to all of those scrolls. So I will do that in a moment. while we're waiting, we will do the next little bit, which also involves flowers. And what you want to do is you just want, so this has to be 2.5 by 2 centimeters, so just a small piece of paper, and you are just going to go down so far, not all the way down to the bottom, and do little triangles along here. I'm going to be better off using my other scissors for this with the pointy end. So just go all the way along. And we do this too. I don't know if we do this again to any of the other flowers. I know we have to do more flowers, and we will be doing more today. But this is the only one like that for this today, anyway. And then we're going to pop flowers in it. So just go along. Doesn't have to be perfect. Although I'm sure some people would sit there with a ruler, making sure it's perfect all the way along. And then when you get to the end, just turn it around and you'll still be able to grip something. That's a very short one. Okay. Out you come. It says no. Okay, and what we're going to do with this is you need to glue it all the way down. So I'm going to use Glue Direct for this. Out the way. Like so. And this does become a bit messy. We need 3 of these. So again, you've got 2 on each strip. So cut them in half roughly. And we need 3 little blue ones. There's 2. I'm going to have 1 left over. 3. We need a yellow one, which we had over from either this step or the last step, and a pink one. It was over from this step. Don't need the green one. Okay, and you just put them in your green. That way. And you want 3 of these. You can just line them up. Where did the other one go? There it went. I might have lost one. And you roll from here, you roll it up. So it's probably, I mean, it's good enough to do it with your hands or your tweezers. You could probably do it around a stick, but I don't know how well that would work really. And then once you're done and you are happy, because it's going to look like this, because it needs to go in a vase that I have not brought with me. I know I haven't. I missed it off the list. And then you are just going to trim these off and throw them away. Look. So that can sit there until we get the vase, and then once you do that, we're going to fan those out, so we get to do that in a moment. And then lastly, before I do the rest of these scrolls, is pop this in here. And I want to hopefully do one other step today, so we would have covered 3 pages. So it does dry clear, tacky. And this is just going to go in like so, and that can go for drying as well. Right, let me go find this vase for this one, and I will get the rest of those scrolls done as well. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is put this in. It's a very small hole in this bead, so I don't think it's going to need any glue, but it is going to take a lot of squeezing. So when you're doing your scrolls, you could do it around a cocktail stick. That would make it slightly tighter than what mine are. Well, probably make it quite a bit tighter than what mine are, really. It's going to be a challenge to put these in. Because it is a very small hole. Just make sure it's open. It is. So it's definitely on me. anything uptight. That's why I have so much trouble with my wires. Oh. And into the dog bed, of course. Right. Okay, give me a mo and I will get this done. Okay, didn't take a moment. Then what I'm going to do is, using my non-glue stick, is just push out the flowers a bit. You can make them curly if you want to roll them like over a screwdriver or something. That works too. Another one here. So, something like that. Again, it doesn't really have to be perfect. They have them a little bit more upright than I do. So, maybe something a bit more like this. Okay, right, let's put this together. So it didn't take long, did it? So again, bottom row is going to be our box, and it's in, oh, I can't get the lid off. It's in an angle. Wow, I'm missing another piece. I did good on this. There's another piece I'm missing, I can see. Okay, gonna put this in here. Gonna put one scroll we're using for this step on here, and I'm gonna have to go and get a piece for that. I thought I had it. Maybe I put it in the other pot. I have one more pot ready to go for today. So our little box goes in here. Doesn't really matter which side it is, but I'm glad it's still, the glue wouldn't have set, otherwise it definitely wouldn't have fit. So I'm going to make that my front of it. I'm not too worried about that being showing, and it has it at an angle. Get that side in more. Then we're using one of these, and it's going to be, which one was it? This one, and that goes in to this. It probably doesn't matter, but I'm going to put this side, and that is at an angle also, and followed by our little, I'm not even sure what it is, our thing. Which is a great squeeze to get in there. Upright. And lie it down for a second. And it's a real tight squeeze. Which makes me think my shelves are a little off. Maybe this one should be a bit higher up. If needed, I can move it. Okay, didn't want to stay in anyway. Oh, you need to go in there, mate. It's still all very wet. You wouldn't have thought it would come out under the circumstances of it being so tight, would you, really? Let's take the scroll out, get out of the way. I think my shelving things too close together. Maybe in future what I should do is make the shelves afterwards, put them in, and then we can see if the height is really going to work or not. Because maybe. Oh no. Give me a moment, I will get this in. Okay, of course I did it as soon as I paused the video. And then stick this in here over the flower, like so. So it looks like that. And then on the top we are going to have our vase or vase, depending on how you want to word it. And my missing item. I really thought I pulled this, so let me look in tomorrow in case I put it in there. I did. I can see it. A cute looking one. It looks like it's got a top on it, which mine does not. I think it's this little one. In the photo it looks like there's a little lid to it, a bead lid, but it doesn't give that in the details. Like so. And that be that one done, and we have lots of scrolls over, so we will be using some of these in the next step. Alright guys, I decided that I'm going to call it this, so that it's not too long, and we will start on page 10 next time. So what we have is, we have a very beautiful, let me drop it, beautiful one of these here, and also this one, which is all very cute too. And I think this will be enough for today, and tomorrow we will be doing more display stands and making some very intricate flowers as well. So, but this is page 8 and 9, and of course we also have the unboxing. So do leave any comments. I look forward to hearing back from you, and I will respond. Or you can email me if that's what you'd like to do. Please do like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Most of all though guys, take care of you. Bye bye now.